What if I told you that the very essence of who you are, your personality, your habits, even parts of your genetic code, isn't some fixed destiny, but actually a blueprint you can consciously rewrite?
Hmm.
Forget that old nature versus nurture debate. Seriously. In this deep dive, we're cutting through all the noise and we're unlocking the cutting-edge neuroscience that proves you possess far more power to transform yourself than, well, probably 99% of people realize.
That's a big claim.
It is. So get ready for some serious aha
Yeah.
moments, because by the end of this, you'll have a scientific roadmap for personal transformation that goes way beyond just wishful thinking.
Yeah, and it's such a common experience, isn't it? We all, want to break a habit or maybe conquer some limiting belief or sometimes just step into a more authentic version of ourselves.
Right, but it feels like a fight.
Exactly. It often feels like we're constantly battling against some invisible, fundamental programming. We even hear ourselves say it, oh, that's just how I am, or maybe it's in my genes.
What's truly groundbreaking now is how science is providing not just hope, but concrete, measurable pathways to actually change. Our sources today, especially this comprehensive research report called Reinventing Identity, they offer us a really detailed look into this neuroscientific blueprint.
Okay, let's unpack this then. With surgical precision, our mission today is to dive deep into three interconnected and, frankly, groundbreaking areas. First, how your brain actually maps your identity and how that map, believe it or not, can be changed.
Okay.
Second, how your daily habits aren't just routines, but literal switches that rewrite your genetic expression. Yeah, switches.
Wow.
And finally, how you can strategically manage your mental energy, your brain power, to make this profound transformation actually stick for good. We're talking real science, real change for you.
Sounds good. Where do we start?
First up, let's get into the incredible plasticity of your brain. I mean, we used to think personality was pretty much set in stone by adulthood, right? Like, that's it.
Yeah, that was the old thinking.
But what if your brain is less like a finished statue and more like, I don't know, continually shape-shifting clay?
Well, what's truly revolutionary here is how neuroimaging, specifically functional MRI or fMRI, has completely reshaped our understanding. It really has.
How so?
It shows that distinct thinking styles, personality orientations, like how you process emotions versus logical thoughts, these things correlate with very specific brain activation patterns.
Okay.
And these involve areas deep in your frontal lobe, places like the ventromedial and orbitofrontal cortex. But here's the thing. This isn't just a simple correlation anymore.
Right.
Researchers can now use something called connectome-based predictive modeling, CPM it's called, which essentially maps how different parts of your brain talk to each other
Okay.
to literally predict personality factors like, say, agreeableness or conscientiousness based solely on these whole brain functional connectivity profiles. It's a bit like a neural fingerprint,
A neural fingerprint. Wow.
which immediately raises a really important question. If we can precisely map this intricate network, can we actively change it?
Okay, that is the question. So from just mapping it, which is already amazing, to actually changing it, what are some of the most striking ways we're seeing this real-time neurofeedback used? Because honestly, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Indeed, it might sound futuristic, but it's actually happening right now. Real-time fMRI neurofeedback allows individuals to observe and, maybe more importantly, modify their own brain activity directly.
You mean watch it happen?
Yeah, you can literally learn to regulate specific neural networks that are associated with those really entrenched limiting beliefs or maybe unhelpful emotional patterns.
That's incredible. Any examples?
Well, to give you a really powerful one, infra-low frequency, or ILF, neurofeedback, it's a method that helps individuals subtly retrain their brainwave patterns. This has been used by the Red Cross in Sweden for traumatized refugees who hadn't responded to conventional therapies. It proved to be a viable tool for restoring a sense of identity and helping people rebuild a life after war-related torture.
Wow, that's profound.
It is. And for really highly personalized interventions, researchers are using methods like GIME, that stands for Group Iterative Multiple Model Estimation.
Okay, GME.
Right. To create these bespoke, custom neural network models. This helps them understand the unique individual wiring that forms someone's identity, and it points to precise pathways for targeted intervention and ultimately change.
So if we could do this for something as profound as trauma, what does this mean for, everyday personal growth? Are there more common examples of this brain rewiring in action that we might recognize, things people might actually encounter?
Absolutely. Think about mirror therapy. It's often used for phantom limb syndrome.
Right, I've heard of that.
So patients see a reflection of their intact limb, and that simple visual feedback increases activation in the frontoparietal network. It helps the brain literally reconstruct a sense of identity and body ownership, even after a physical loss.
That's amazing, just by seeing it.
Yeah. And similarly, there's constraint-induced movement therapy, or CIMT. That's a technique where you restrict the use of a good limb to force the use of an impaired one, maybe after a stroke.
Uh-huh.
Well, fMRI studies show increased activity in specific brain regions during CIMT. These behavioral interventions are literally rewiring identity-related brain circuits. It's pretty compelling proof that what you do can profoundly change who you are at the deepest, most structural level of your brain.
That's such a powerful idea. Our actions literally reshaping our brain's identity map. Okay, so if our brain is that malleable, what about the blueprint itself? Our genes. We often feel like our genes dictate our destiny, right?
That's the common wisdom, yeah.
But what if I told you your daily choices are actively editing your genetic code? This next insight, it's a real game changer.
Okay, I'm ready.
Tell us about epigenetics.
Right, so if we connect this to the bigger picture, the field of epigenetics has fundamentally transformed our understanding here. It really has.
In what way?
It reveals that gene expression, which basically means whether a gene is on or off, actively producing proteins or just lying dormant, is incredibly dynamic. And crucially, it's largely modifiable by your lifestyle choices.
So not set in stone.
Not at all. Think of it like this. Your genes are the hardware of your computer. They're mostly fixed. But epigenetics, that's the software.
Oh.
And the incredible news is you can update that software daily, often just by making different choices about how you live.
So it's not just about living generally healthy in some vague sense. There's actually a more sophisticated framework for this kind of epigenetic reprogramming, isn't there?
Indeed. There's the lifestylopathy framework. It's quite a holistic approach to understanding how lifestyle influences health, and it examines 4 key energy domains.
4 domains. What are they?
Okay, so there's chemical, which refers to nutrition, hydration, metabolism, that sort of thing.
Got it.
Then elastic, relating to physical movement, exercise, flexibility. Mental, which encompasses cognitive processes, emotional regulation, stress management. And finally, voluntary, covering conscious choices, willpower, even social interactions.
Interesting. So how does this framework help?
Well, it beautifully illustrates how structured lifestyle interventions within these domains actively shape gene expression. They can boost immune resilience, enhance cognitive stability, and even help prevent chronic diseases, which brings up a crucial point.
Yeah.
What specific daily habits are literally reprogramming our genes for the better?
Okay, let's dive into that. Give us some concrete examples, because honestly, some of these just blew my mind when I was looking through the sources. From like our morning coffee to how we move, it seems every little choice is a potential genetic switch.
Absolutely. It's quite remarkable. Studies show, for instance, that regular meditation practice directly modifies DNA methylation patterns.
Methylation.
Yeah.
That's one of those epigenetic markers.
Exactly. It modifies those patterns in genes associated with cortisol regulation. So this means your calming meditation isn't just a mental break. It's actively dampening your body's stress response and inflammation at a genetic level.
Wow. That's powerful. What else?
Dietary interventions are huge. The Mediterranean and DASH diets, rich in whole foods, healthy fats, they enhance health biomarkers and demonstrably slow down epigenetic aging.
Slow down aging at the genetic level.
Effectively, yes. And here's a really intriguing one. Time-restricted eating, where you limit your food intake to a specific window each day.
Yeah, intermittent fasting, basically.
Right. That was found to influence gene expression across more than 22 regions of the body and brain. And get this, 70% of mouse genes responded to this simple intervention.
70%, that's
huge. It is.
Yeah.
Even physical activity like high-intensity interval training, HIIT, it induces beneficial epigenetic modifications for better metabolism and insulin sensitivity. And it improves cognitive responses to psychological stress through specific epigenetic mechanisms in the dentate gyrus. That's a key brain region for learning and memory. Your workout is literally rewriting your stress response code.
Okay, this is incredible. So, given all this, it sounds like it's definitely not all genetic destiny then. What does this mean for someone who feels kind of stuck with traits they think they inherited? How much agency do we really have here?
Not destiny at all. Leading researchers now propose what they call a 50-50 split between nature and nurture.
50-50.
Yeah, and this isn't just some neat theory. It means that approximately 50% of your personality traits are environmentally modifiable through these kinds of lifestyle interventions.
So half of it is potentially under our control.
That's the idea. Your daily habits, what you eat, how you move your body, how much sleep you get, how you manage stress. These aren't minor choices. They act as powerful switches, turning certain genes on or off, actively promoting health, longevity, and even profound personality transformation. It really gives you immense agency.
Immense agency. I like that. Okay, so we've established we can literally change our brain's identity map and even reprogram our genes. That's massive. But let's be real, change can feel incredibly exhausting, right? It takes effort, serious effort sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
So how do we manage the mental energy required to literally transform ourselves without just burning out or giving up after a week?
Right. This is where cognitive load management becomes absolutely critical. It's the missing piece for sustainability.
Cognitive load management. Yeah.
See, your brain, much like a computer, allocates finite mental resources. It uses a sophisticated pre-task system for working memory. But here's the kicker. Post-task replenishment, how quickly you recover your mental energy and can tackle more challenges, varies significantly. And it varies based on the favorability of effort-reward trade-offs.
Effort-reward trade-offs. Meaning?
Meaning, if the reward for your effort feels genuinely worth it to your brain, you replenish that mental energy better. Think of it like your brain has a limited number of browser tabs it can keep open effectively.
Oh, okay. I know that feeling.
Right. So to stay productive and avoid crashing, we need to intelligently close the unnecessary tabs and prioritize what really matters for the change we want to make.
Okay, cognitive load still sounds a bit, well, academic. What does it actually mean for us in our quest for transformation? How do we identify those unnecessary tabs you mentioned?
That's a fair point. Advanced cognitive theory breaks it down into 3 types of load, and understanding them is really key. First, there's intrinsic load.
Intrinsic.
Yeah, that's just the inherent difficulty of the new material or skill you're trying to learn. Some things are just harder than others.
Makes sense.
Then there's extraneous load. This is the bad stuff, wasted mental effort. It's often caused by poor presentation of information, distractions in your environment, or just inefficient processes.
Ah, okay. The stuff that just drains you for no reason.
Exactly. And finally, there's germane load. This is the good stuff. It's the productive effort that actually builds new understanding, learning, and what psychologists call schemas or mental frameworks.
Okay, so intrinsic is the task difficulty, extraneous is the pointless drain, germane is the useful learning effort.
You got it. So we want to maximize germane load and rigorously minimize that extraneous load, which brings up another crucial question.
Which is?
Is our capacity for mental effort fixed? Or can we actually train our brains to handle this load better?
That is a great question. I mean, is our mental stamina like a muscle we can strengthen, or are we just kind of stuck with the brain power we were born with?
It's highly trainable. Absolutely like a muscle. We have strong evidence for this. Working memory training, for example.
Like those brain games.
Some of them, yeah, when done right. This training induces significant neuroplastic changes in critical brain areas, the frontal and parietal cortex, the basal ganglia. It even increases dopamine receptor density.
Seriously. Changes the physical structure.
Yes, these are fundamental changes in your brain's physical architecture. It means your actual capacity to manage complex cognitive resources isn't fixed at all. And even as we age, research clearly shows our cognitive systems remain remarkably plastic. Your brain is constantly adaptively seeking optimal ways to manage its load and become more efficient. It never really stops learning how to learn.
All right, this is gold. Seriously. So how do we apply this practically? What are some everyday hacks or strategies we can use to manage our mental energy better and actually sustain these big transformative changes we're talking about?
Okay, great question. Mindfulness practices are incredibly powerful here. They work by reducing that cognitive load stress, actively cutting out internal and external distractions, and enhancing focused attention.
Makes sense. Quieting the noise.
Exactly. Another highly effective technique is chunking information.
Chunking, like breaking things down.
Precisely. Breaking down complex goals or new learning into smaller, more manageable units. This strategy leverages your brain's natural knack for pattern recognition and prevents that feeling of overwhelm.
Okay, smaller steps. Got it.
Simple visual aids, too. Things like infographics or mind maps, they significantly reduce cognitive load because our brains process visual information very efficiently, making complex ideas much easier to grasp and retain.
Visuals help. What about tech?
Yeah, technology is even stepping in directly now. There are non-invasive brain stimulation methods like TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation, and TDCS, transcranial direct current stimulation.
Whoa, stimulating the brain.
Gently, yes, using magnetic fields or weak electrical currents to modulate brain activity. Studies show they can actively enhance working memory. And even things like alpha neurofeedback training can improve visual working memory by teaching you to regulate your own brain waves.
Okay, so lots of tools. Now, when we're trying to really reinvent ourselves, embody that new identity we're building, how does this cognitive load management fit into the bigger picture of the whole transformation process?
Well, during any significant identity transformation, you're essentially doing two things at once. You're building new cognitive frameworks, new neural pathways, while simultaneously maintaining all your existing functions. It's a heavy lift for the brain.
Yeah, sounds exhausting just thinking about it.
It can be. That's why it's absolutely crucial that your transformation activities, those new habits you're building, provide clear, meaningful rewards. Remember that effort-reward trade-off.
Gotta feel worth it.
Exactly. If your brain perceives the payoff as worth the mental energy you're spending, it actively replenishes its mental resources. That keeps you motivated, prevents fatigue, keeps you on track.
So how do we make sure that happens?
Simple, actionable things can make a huge difference, like creating distraction-free workspaces, turning off notifications, or using time management techniques like the Pomodoro technique and, focused work bursts followed by short breaks. These things can drastically reduce that extraneous cognitive load, prevent burnout, and make the whole journey much more sustainable.
Okay, this is incredibly practical. So we've talked about the amazing ability to rewire your brain's identity map, how your daily choices literally reprogram your genes.
Right.
And the vital importance of optimizing your mental energy for sustained change. So what does this all mean when you put it all together? Because this isn't just like a collection of fascinating science facts, right? It feels like an integrated blueprint for profound personal transformation.
Exactly. That's the perfect way to put it. If we connect all this to the bigger picture, the convergence of neural identity mapping, epigenetic lifestyle programming, and cognitive load management creates a truly comprehensive and, importantly, actionable framework.
A new paradigm, almost.
I think so, yeah. This isn't just pie-in-the-sky thinking. It represents a new paradigm for human development. Brain imaging gives us the diagnostic capability, allowing us to potentially identify those limiting neural patterns that hold us back.
See the problem.
Right. Epigenetic programming offers the practical, daily tools, your habits for fundamental biological change.
The how-to.
And cognitive load management ensures sustainable implementation, making sure you don't burn out or just derail yourself on the journey.
Keeping it going.
Precisely. This integrated approach means reinventing yourself isn't just possible. It's systematically approachable using advanced neuroscientific principles. It means personal transformation can be precise, it can be lasting, and it can be deeply scientific.
Wow. Precise, lasting scientific transformation. And speaking of scientific surprises that connect deeply with our lives, here's a little Easter egg for those of you deep diving with us today.
Ooh, I like Easter eggs.
Did you know that subtle social signals, like the specific way a mother rat grooms and interacts with her pups, just how she licks them, can trigger lasting epigenetic modifications in those pups? And these changes then affect their stress responses, not just throughout their own lives, but can even be passed down across generations.
Get out. Seriously, passed down.
Yeah. So it's not just your personal habits, but the profound impact of relationships and maybe early life experiences that can literally rewrite the genetic code of a being. It just shows how interconnected everything really is, doesn't it?
That's mind-blowing. Really puts things in perspective.
Doesn't it? Okay, so let's quickly recap the astonishing insights we've uncovered in this deep dive into reinventing yourself. First, you learn that your brain isn't fixed. In a dynamic, moldable blueprint you can reshape through techniques like neurofeedback and just targeted actions.
Right, malleable clay.
Exactly. Second, you discovered your genes aren't destiny. Your daily habits are powerful switches that actively rewrite your genetic expression. You're the software engineer.
Updating daily.
And third, you now understand that managing your mental energy through strategies like chunking information and mindfulness is absolutely critical for making any transformation sustainable.
Can't skip that piece.
No way.
Ultimately, the research really clearly demonstrates that profound, lasting personal change isn't just an aspiration, or a lucky break for some
Yeah.
people. It's actually a scientific process. And it's genuinely within your reach, especially when you're armed with this deeper understanding and these powerful tools we've talked about. It's really about consciously designing your future self.
Consciously designing your future self. I love that. So as you go about your day-to-day, think about this. If, let's say, 50% of your personality is modifiable,
Yeah.
and you now have the scientific insights and the tools to literally rewire your brain and reprogram your genes, what specific part of you are you ready to consciously transform next? What new neural pathways are you going to start forging? What genetic switches are you ready to activate?
Good question to ponder.
Definitely. Okay, that's it for this incredibly eye-opening deep dive. If your mind is buzzing with new possibilities like ours are,
Mine definitely is.
make sure you hit that subscribe button. Maybe share this deep dive with a friend who needs to hear this empowering message. And hey, leave us a review. It really helps. And next time we're going even deeper into something profoundly overlooked in our hyper-connected, noisy world.
Okay. What is it?
The hidden power of silence. What if the absence of sound, deliberate quiet, is actually the key to unlocking your greatest creativity, your sharpest focus, and maybe even your deepest inner peace in this crazy, distracting world? You won't want to miss it.